Chris again from White Oaks Farm, West Virginia. I'm going to sharpen the blades on my little Troy Bilt Lawn and Garden Tractor. I'm going to make use of the forks on the Kubota to lift it up so that I can get underneath it with the air wrench and pull the blades, and then take them into the excuse me, the granary, and put them in the vise and sharpen them with the side grinder. And so that's what I'm going to do. Anyways, I'm going to turn this thing off. I'll pull the little Troy Bilt up on the forks, just the front wheels onto the forks, and then very gently lift it up just high enough that I can reach underneath the deck with the air wrench. So I just pulled the Troy Bilt up onto the forks. They're just enough that I can lift it without the forks touching the metal parts of the tractor. So here we go. Just nice and easy. You don't want to dump it off there. First I tip the forks back a little bit, and then watching carefully. The brake is set on the little tractor, so it can't roll backwards. Just watching, make sure I'm not going to lift it too high and roll it off the forks. And that should be plenty high enough to get under with the air wrench. So shut things down, and I'll get the air wrench out of the shed there and go to town. I'll probably throw a piece of plywood down underneath it so I got someplace to crawl around and I won't lose parts into the grass. Yeah, there, I got the air wrench set up, put in reverse. Didn't forget to put a drop of lubricating oil in it before I hooked it up to the air hose. And here we go. 2 blades, one here. And one on the other side. There we go. Now I'll take them in, chuck them up in the vise, and put a nice edge on them. Wire brush them to get the grass off them so I can balance them somewhat, and they'll be ready to go. My little tool shed granary full of stuff. I can hardly move in here. That'll change when I get a real shop built. But anyways, this is a little wire brush. I gotta close the door so I can see what I'm doing because there's so much sunlight coming in. But basically, just want to get the extra grass that's matted onto the blade off, because that'll help when I go to balance the blade. I won't have things keeping it from balancing. A little bit more right down in there. Don't have to get it all off, but I like to get most of it. And the other blade. It's nice to have tools, because otherwise you got to send this sort of stuff out, have somebody else do it and pay them. There we go. I'll have to polish this one a little bit more later. But anyways, chuck it up in the vise, or clamp it up in the vise. Excuse me, I've always got a tickle in my throat. And then I got to swing the vise. There we go. Excuse me, tools. Yeah. Everybody's in the way. Lock it back down. Gotta know which way you're turning it, boy. And then you just try to match that bevel and remove some of the material that's made a round over edge. And make sure it's sucked up tightly in the vise. There we go. We all make mistakes, right? At least I do. And you never want to like just sit there and grind on one spot because you'll burn the blade and take the temper out of it. So just keep moving it. You're not trying to put like a real sharp edge on it. You just want to get it back so that it's not totally rounded over. You can see it's still got, well, it's real sharp right in here and a little bit dull both ends. So grind a little bit more. If I remember right, that's a 40 grit flap wheel. So it's pretty coarse, but let's see. Does it say? Yeah, it's a 40. Always want to be careful where you set your grinder down so that it doesn't make contact with things you don't want to get ground. Oh, that's a lot nicer. Yeah, we'll call that good enough. Do the other end of the blade. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. That's one. You can see the difference between sharp just by the way the light reflects off the edge of the blade. Sharp and dull. You don't need to watch me do this all over again. I'll be back later. Hi there again. I'm back. I got the blades sharpened and now I'm balancing them. The way I do it, I've got a blade balancer someplace, I just can't find it, so this is the next best thing, is I put a nail in the vise and just balance the blade on one of the points of the star hole and see how close it is. This one's pretty darn good. It doesn't want to drop off. It's a little bit heavier on this end, but not enough to worry about. Check the other one. Again, you just balance it on the point of the star. Oh, this one's even better. Yep, they're balanced enough for me. Put them back on the tractor. Never grind on the bottom side of the blade. That thins it out and will make it weak. Always make sure that you put the blade on right side up. If you put it on upside down, it's not going to work, because this will be your cutting edge instead of what you just sharpened. No, I don't speak from experience, but I know people who have had that experience. So you just put it up there and get your nut started. There, nut started, and hand tighten it until you can get the blade to seat on the stars. There, that's seated. And then I just set the wrench on low and tighten it a little bit like that. Ah! Don't push it off. There we go. And that should be all it needs. Have to lift it higher next time. And there we go again. Of course, all lawn tractors are going to be somewhat different, but this is the way it works for this Troy Bilt. Well, I got it up here. I'll take my scraper and remove some of that grass from underneath. I think I need to tighten that other one a little bit more. Looks like it's off. Gonna raise it up a bit. There we go. That ought to be high enough now. Not sure I got it on the stars. Try this again. Come on, little nut, start. There we go. That's up on the star. Yeah, that's the way it should be. Scraper. Just going to remove some of this crap from up underneath here. There's not a lot of it, but it doesn't help the life of the deck. And it doesn't help with the discharge of the grass clippings, because they like to stick to it. And of course I should do this probably when I park the thing, but there's never time, because I usually park it and it's time for a swim or it's going to rain, or so it gets done when I change the blades or clean the blades, sharpen the blades, whatever you want to call it. Well, there it is. I cleaned the underside of the deck and some of the top of the deck, and now I'm going to just lower it back down gently. should be able to back the thing off the forks and go mow. What fun, huh? Just did some work so I can do some more work. Anyways, this is Chris at White Oaks Farm. See y'all later.